And I also told that Nicholas brought his students. So could you please introduce yourself?
Okay. Charles Barrow, I just call me Chuck. I've been going to South Alabama for 3 years now. I'm a double major in geography and Russian language.
Hi, I'm Aurora Harriot. I've wrote it, it's easier. I'm a student at South Alabama. I'm in my 4th year. I'm a senior, and I study Russian language and computer science.
I'm Cynthia Anderson. I am a junior at South Alabama. I'm going there for 3 years. I am an international studies major in Russian language.
I'm Ben Worcester. I'm a 4th year senior, and I'm studying Russian language and anthropology.
Okay, I'm going to speak English. I'll try to speak slowly and very clearly. I walk around a lot.
I just want to turn this off because it's hot. Hot.
We're from Alabama. We love air conditioner. So, anyways, so. So, okay. Again, so I'll walk around a lot when I speak because I usually lecture to 50 people sometimes in a room or a large classroom. So if I walk in front of the screen, I'll try to remember that it's not high, it's low. So excuse me for that. If something I say you don't understand, just raise your hand. I'll try to explain it. There's a seat that's dismissed. I'll try to explain it either in English, or if you really don't understand, I'll try to explain it in Russian, or I'm sure Yelena can help me out if we really have a misunderstanding. So I'm going to talk about writing a statement of purpose, which is part of a graduate school application, or some undergraduate schools, Harvard, Ivy League schools require this as well. It's for undergrad and graduate school. Any graduate school program you apply for, you will need a statement of purpose. So it's actually one of the most important aspects of your graduate application. And then I'll talk a little bit about my university, just because I love it and I'd like to promote it. And it's 30 minutes from the beach. So if you like the beach, you could go to school there and go to the beach every weekend. Okay. Okay. So this is a basic grad school application process. Okay. You research the program you want to go to. You research the university you're looking for. You take your tests, TOEFL, to prove your English. By the way, if you are a permanent resident of the United States, you don't have to take it. So we have people in our country who don't know any English but can get into college. But unfortunately, because you're not residents, you have to take the test on English as a foreign language. If you're going to grad school, you have to take the GRE. If you're going to most graduate schools, the graduate record exam. If you're going to law school, the LSAT. If you're going to business school, the GMAT. If you're going to med school, the MCAT. All of these acronyms, you're Russian, you love acronyms, so we love them for tests as well. Most of you will probably take the GRE. There are different types of GREs. There's general GRE, and then there's subject GRE. If you do biology, you take the biology GRE. The general GRE has math, and it has a math section, it has a writing section, and it has a verbal section. They've made it easier over the past few years. When I took it, it was a lot more difficult, so it's easier now. People look at the writing scores, and so you want to make sure your writing's pretty good before you take that. Once you take the test, you start applying. Applications can be expensive. They can be up to $100 to $150 per application. So be very choosy about where you apply. Some programs you apply for the entire state. If you apply anywhere in the state of Texas, where I went to grad school, you apply for the state of Texas, and then you pick your school you want to send it to. So if you apply for Texas and Texas A&M and Texas Arlington and Texas Dallas, you can go to one site and do it all. Most states are not that organized, unfortunately. California and Texas are probably the only two. A lot of times there'll be an interview process. If you're going up for funding, they will write you a letter and either tell you they can't give you funding or that they can give you funding. They like to interview you. The interview will be in English, most likely. I've seen them at our school. We have a very big med school. We have a lot of Russian and Ukrainian scientists that aren't getting along right now, but they work together. And they've interviewed some of their lab techs in Russian that they've hired just to see if they could even work with them. But then a lot of times you'll have an English interview, so that's a possibility as well. And then, of course, there's a decision process that comes from the university. Each program has different dates of when you have to submit your materials for registration or for application. Most of them are the first day of January, the 15th of January, or the 15th of February. Some schools are all the way back in November, depending on the type of program. So these are things you have to think about. You have to start looking at going to school 1 year from the fall, 2017, no, 2016, right? You would need to start now thinking about this process. Because if you wait until December of this year, you won't have time to take your tests. You want to be able to give your time to take your test 2 times. Always take it 2 times. It doesn't hurt you if you take it twice. They keep your better score. Okay, so, and it's only good for 5 years. So if you take it now and you wait 5 years and then you apply, you have to retake the test. And it costs $187, I think, to take the GRE. Do they offer it in Moscow? Can you take the GRE here? So there's places to take it in Moscow. So application for grad school programs. So you need your transcripts. That is something that is a kind of a foreign word in Russia. When our students come study here, they want a transcript, and Russian universities don't really give transcripts out. They give you your little book with all your grades in it. You have to have that translated. You have to have it certified. You have to have the apostille on it and all that stuff, all those good things. Cost about $360 to do it for companies. I'm sure you could find a cheaper way to do it in Moscow. There's plenty of places that do it. GRE scores, IELTS or TOEFL. Some schools accept either of the two. I know IELTS is more popular in Europe. Any other assessments required, again, depending on your field. Letters of recommendations. This is one of the other major aspects of a graduate school application. Basically, you ask a professor that you know to write you a letter to send it to the university. Now, I've asked people in my university international admissions, and they said they do accept official transcripts or translations. So if your professor doesn't speak English, or he probably writes way better in Russian, because Russian has a way better vocabulary, and you can really talk well about somebody in Russian more than you can in English, I think, unless you're a philosophy major. He or she can write it. It can be translated officially and sent to the university. The only way, as if I'm looking at my applications, they're sitting on my desk. The only way I know you as a student is through 2 things. For me, test scores, that's even if we look at your application. The university will not forward us your application if your test scores are too low. For us, these are the 2 most important things. Letters of recommendation and statement of purpose, which I'm going to talk about in length today. Those are the 2 most important aspects of your application, because that's how we know who you are as a student. You could just be Vladimir from Moscow, and you think we're going to accept you. No. We have dozens of Vladimirs and dozens of Bens applying every day. We want to know what's special about you. These are the 2 things that help us. Some other things that may be required could be a personal statement. We'll talk about the difference between a personal statement and a statement of purpose. Writing samples. A lot of schools are getting away from the writing samples just because it's too much paper and we're going green and all that stuff. So a statement of purpose, which is what we're going to talk about today, is a written work between 500 and 2,500 words in English. Many times there may be a prompt. They may tell you exactly, please tell us why you want to be in this program and why you'd be a good student. Or tell us something in your life that's been difficult and how you've overcome it and why that connects to your education. There could be more than one question for the statement of purpose. This is reviewed by a selection committee. Again, most committees consist of at least 4 people, in graduate schools, sometimes upwards of 12 to 20, depending on the size of the program. The history and the government departments at the University of Texas, where I went to grad school, had about 100 faculty, which is, for an American university, is a lot. And they had about 50 people to 25 to 50 people on their graduate school committees. So that means that many people are gonna have to read all of your stuff. So you want it to stand out. You don't want it to just be, I like studying, I want to go to school. You wouldn't believe the stuff I've seen from Americans. It's always better from the international students because they actually want to go there. Along with letters of recommendation, again, this is the most important component of your application. So an academic statement of purpose, this is an official definition. A statement of purpose is a concise, well-written statement about your academic and research background, your career goals, and how a certain graduate program will help you meet your career and educational objectives. You can't just write one statement of purpose and send them to every school. Because what you're going to do is you're going to accidentally say, I want to come to the University of Virginia, but a student do that last year. They wrote something about the University of Virginia, and I was like, this is not the University of Virginia. So sorry if you can't even take the time to know what school you're writing to. I don't want you to come here. Something that small can make somebody very mad, just because it shows that you don't care. If you're spending $150 to apply for this school, take the time. That's a lot of rubles right now. That's like that's 7,500 rubles, give or whatever, maybe a little more. Okay, so here's a good sample from UC Berkeley, and of course it's UC Berkeley. The people that apply there are just like the Harvard of the West. Yeah, okay, well, it's not, it doesn't have a virus, I promise. Maybe not.
Maybe it's slow. That's the one.
Sorry. Oh, there you go. It's a PDF. Okay, we'll let it load. It'll probably load like right when I don't need it to. Okay, so statement of purpose and a personal statement are two different things. Personal statement, I just bring this up to show the difference, is written about 500 words. Many times there's also a prompt. It's also reviewed by a selection committee, and this is more about them to get your personality. Graduate school most times is about working together. If you cannot work with other people, we don't want you in our school. There's always the one person that slips through the cracks that usually causes a lot of problems for students, faculty, administration, police, anyone else you can imagine. So, as this. Kakaruski stole that. Let's see if this loaded yet. So a personal statement should describe how your background, your life experiences, including cultural, geographical, financial, educational, other opportunities or challenges, motivated your decision to pursue a graduate degree. All of you have one thing that makes you stand out more than most Americans. You're from Russia. Automatically you stand out. Most of you are probably in your 20s, maybe younger. I don't know your age. I never can tell what Russian people are. You guys age, I think, better than we do, so I can never tell. But you guys have lived through the 90s was a horrible time. Your family probably was affected by that. The things going on in your country now, maybe they affect you this way or the other, or around the world. You need to include those in your personal statement. That's important for us to know who you are. Otherwise, we really don't know who you are. It's important. For example, Aurora, would you like to tell what you did for a scholarship? She did win the scholarship.
So there aren't a lot of minorities, like Black people, in speaking Russian languages or in computer science. So you can include that sort of thing in your personal statement, and I did. And then also, I'm a woman in computer science and speaking the Russian language, so there aren't very many at all. And so that.
So people want to throw money at her.
Yeah. Like a double.
Yeah, she's
minority.
She's like a triple minority. She's
Yeah.
a woman, a Black woman who speaks Russian and is doing computer sciences. It's like one of the only women in her whole field, let alone. So those types of things make you stand out. Don't be afraid to use those. Our country loves the different stuff. For us, maybe you're from Cheboksary. Okay, that's completely you're not Russian, maybe ethnically. Like, I'm a non-ethnic Russian. That makes me different. Why? I come from this part of Russia. This is a specific, to us, to Americans, well, not to me because I know your country, but most Americans think you're all the same. They don't realize Russia's a multi-ethnic country. We like that kind of stuff. So don't forget to mention that. Okay, let's see if this popped up. Nope, it's all right. It's okay. I'm not going to even try to pull up that one. Well, maybe that's a website. Let's try to pull up that one. Вот. Here's a great statement of purpose. Okay, and I'm going to send this presentation to Elena, and you can send it out to the students, or maybe you're not students, maybe you're young adults, whatever. So this is a perfect statement of purpose. Please describe your aptitude and motivation for graduate study in your area of specialization, including your preparation for this field of study, your academic plans or research interests in your chosen area of study, and your future career goals. Be specific about why UC Berkeley would be a good intellectual fit for you. Okay, so let's look at this. The person who wrote this agreed that they could use this for this purpose. We always have to put that so nobody sues us in America. Okay. Luscious fare is the jewel of inordinate desires, cautions the author of The Gentlewoman's Companion, one of the many early modern conduct books I surveyed this past year for an honors thesis entitled Chaste, Silent, and Hungry, the Problem of Female Appetite in Early Modern England, 1550 to 1700. 100 rubles, anybody who can tell me what all that means. No. First of all, this person sounds brilliant just from this first sentence. I've already accepted them into my graduate program. They're smarter than some of the faculty. So, as indicated by the title, this project explores a provocative but as yet scarcely studied facet of early gender constructions, female food desire. But she's doing something, he or she, I'm going to go she with this one just because she's writing about women, so I assume it's a woman, but that could be wrong. She's already put out what she wants to do while she's in grad school. The number one problem we have with graduate students is when you come to us and don't know what you want to do. I can't tell you how many times when I was at Texas, people would come in, what do you want to study? Russia. What about Russia? Just everything. That's not how this works. She wants to study, she wants to write about female food desire. It's very specific. Right away, they know what she wants to do. They know that she's serious, okay? I use the word desire here rather deliberately, as modern definitions of appetite extended well beyond the physiological drive to eat encompass all physical longings associated with the body, blah, blah, blah. She goes through parts of her research. She talks about she earned an award for her research at another university. If you've ever won an award, maybe you won a gold medal when you were going to the Russian university, those types of things mentioned. Okay, it shows that you're serious about your academic career. She goes on and on and on. She keeps going and going and going. And I won't read all of it because it'll take me a while. She talks about professors that she's had and what they've done for her. She talks about what she wants to do. She spent a year away from school. She decided that she wants to get this degree and then go on to a doctorate in European history. So she talks about what she wants to do with her future, what her future goals are. this is a perfect statement of purpose in the sense that she goes to all the check marks. We know who she is. We can tell that she's smart. We can tell that she has the skills. She speaks Latin, and well, she doesn't speak. She knows Latin. She speaks French and Spanish. She can already do research in 3 languages. Okay. These things are important. Now, the statement, that was a statement of purpose. This is a personal statement. It's mostly the same, it's a little bit different, okay? Talks about interest in science. I excelled in physics. When I was a senior, I took a calculus course. This is why I'm interested in electrical engineering. When I began my career, I had the opportunity to take these courses, etc. It made me feel good. I liked it. Down here, it talks about why he wants to go to the school specifically, of the superb reputation of your school, and with conversations of your alumni. I have deepened my interest in attending. I know that your excellent faculty, your computer facilities are among the best in the state. I hope you will give me the privilege of continuing my studies at your fine institution. College, graduate school is a privilege. It's not a right. We don't have to let people in. We let people in because we want to let them in. So make sure that you show gratitude for that, for giving them the time, because they're reading like 150 of these, some schools, maybe more. So make sure you thank them for their time. Thank you for considering me, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and again, this will be on the slides that you can receive, so I won't go through all of this. So we'll continue. So statement of purpose. Show your purpose for applying to the program. Write about the following: experiences directly related to the graduate program. Let's say you want to do a graduate program in political science or international studies. Okay, so what have you done in the past educationally or professionally that's prepared you for that? Maybe you worked at a summer camp for international kids. Maybe you worked at a hostel and you met a lot of foreigners that came into the hostel. Who knows? Maybe you traveled a lot as a kid or in your younger, in your high school days. Go into detail about why you're choosing a specific program. I'm choosing the history program at the University of Arizona because I want to work with Dr. Smith. It's always good to name drop. A good idea is to find someone you want to work with at that university that does what you want to do. Write them an email and just tell them who you are. My name is John. I'm a student applying to your university from Moscow. This is what I do in my undergraduate. This is what I would like to do in graduate school. I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that I'd like to come and work with you. If that person knows you, let's say they're looking through 100 applications and like, I want to find this guy John from Moscow. He's going to search through and find it because he remembers your name because you took the time to write it. Okay, we always professors like to have their egos stroked. I mean, you all know that. You were in college in Russia. Professors around the world are all the same. We all have egos. We like people to tell us how smart we are and that they want to work with us, things like that. Particulars about that program. Again, professors, particular classes that you want to take. Maybe they teach a class in theory at that university that they don't have at the other university you're looking at. I've also looked at other universities and I found that your university has theory of Marxism in Western thought. I don't know. Maybe you want to study that. Point that out. It shows that you've taken the time to actually look at the program. Okay. Avoid writing about anything not directly related to the program. I had a girl one time, she started her statement of purpose off with a teddy bear she had as a kid and how she dreamed that she had a dream that it spoke to her in Russian. And so she wanted to learn Russian. And that's how she started her statement of purpose. And we were just like, this girl's probably mentally insane, so we're not going to accept her. So just don't do that. Don't talk about stuffed animals. Unless you're going to be an engineer of toys or something. I don't know. Okay. In your personal statement, though, you want to write about your passion for your chosen field, why you love physics, if you love physics. Volunteers, this is personal statement, statement of purpose, two different things. Personal statement is more about you personally. Volunteer service. Maybe you worked at a summer camp. Maybe you raised money for orphans. Maybe you helped build dachas for babushki. I don't know. Anything you've done, we like volunteer things because we ask our graduate students to volunteer for stuff all the time. It's more like Soviet volunteerism where we tell you you're doing it and you just do it because you don't have a choice because you're a graduate student. We'll have an event where we have kids come to the school and we'll teach them about this or that. Guess what? You're coming to school this Saturday and working. Okay, don't say no. Because the same people who ask you to do that, every summer when you apply for funding, they sit in the meeting and they go, he didn't come help us that day that students came, so I don't like him. Sometimes funding decisions are made personally, unfortunately. So write about volunteer service, write about personal experience that have prepared you for graduate study. You know, going to the Moscow Metro at Chas Peak has prepared me for anything in the world. If they've ever been here, they'll understand that. Statement of purpose versus personal statement. This is the major differences here. Statement of purpose, you're going to stick to topics related to your academic life. Okay? Passion is okay, but be careful not to get sentimental. Don't make it like Titanic and all sad and romantic. You know, be very academic about it. Be direct and concise. If you can't tell us what you want to do and we tell you to do it in 2,000 words and you can't do it, we probably don't want you in our graduate school, because a lot of times papers in graduate school will be 2 pages on a topic that's this wide. So you have to be very concise. Plus, when we're reading so many of them, if it's just a bunch of filler, blah, 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 that's what our brain starts doing, and we just turn the page. You should include personal information about yourself for the personal statement. You should be passionate and sentimental about your academic and professional goals. Maybe doing this will help you do this in your future career, and that'll make you feel better as a human being. You'll leave the world a better place than it was. Whatever. Maybe you want to come back to Russia and do this or do that, or go back to your city, do this or do that, or go to Africa, do this. I mean, whatever. That's more of a personal statement, not your statement of purpose. A possible way to organize your statement of purpose would be to start with a passionate introduction. Remember, passionate, not sentimental. Okay. Your background in the field. So you want to start with a passionate introduction. Something that she had was very good, where she had a quote from a book that she had read that summed up, what she wanted to study. Okay. Just go find a Pushkin poem and translate it. I mean, he wrote it so much, you probably could find something. Your background in the field. If you have a degree in mechanical engineering and you want to go to political science, where's your background in that field? Why would we accept you in graduate school? Or vice versa, you're a political scientist, but you want to do mechanical engineering for graduate school. Okay, so you got to make sure you have the background in the field and make sure you write about it. Relevant classes or professors you've had. So if you're doing X degree and you've taken classes in undergraduate around that field, talk about that. Related extracurricular activities. Maybe you had a job, an internship. Maybe you did some volunteer work or an unpaid internship that relates to your field. Talk about that. Any publications or other professional achievements. If you ever had any publications, or you won an award, or you were maybe you got the best prize at your second year poster competition in your school, at your university. That's an award. That's something we want to know about. It's an achievement. Explain any issues you've had. Okay, talk about something that maybe an issue you had that you had to overcome. This shows us in your statement of purpose that you can successfully complete a graduate program. The thing that we don't want is someone that comes in for a 2 or a 5-year degree and they spend 10 years. We don't want that. We want you to finish, because in the United States, everything is about numbers, unfortunately, with the university. If we don't graduate this many people in this many years, we lose funding, and then we can't bring more students in. So we have to know that you can finish this. So talking about an issue you've overcome in your educational career would help us understand that. Why you've chosen that specific graduate school. Remember to name the graduate school in your statement of purpose. Make sure you send the correct one to the correct university. That's extremely important. triple check everything. Your statement of purpose should show that you're passionately interested in the field, that you're intelligent, so use big words. Thesaurus is the greatest thing you can have when writing your paper. Well prepared academically, able to take on the challenge of graduate school, collegial towards other students and faculty. We want to know that you can work well with other people. Able to finish the graduate degree in a timely fashion. Okay, we should be able to pull this from your statement of purpose. This is what we're thinking in our brain as we go through reading. And also potentially outstanding representative of that grad school in your future career. If you're going to graduate from our program and then go live on a farm, that doesn't really help us. We like our students to go out and do things, because then we can say, we had student X come here and now they run the central bank of Mongolia or something. I'm making stuff up as I go. That's what I do. Okay. Or like my student, maybe he finds some hidden city. Well, he was my student, so I can get the credit for that, right? We like to know, we want to know that when you go out in the field, we can say you're a proud representative of our university. Or maybe she creates some computer program that makes billions of dollars and gives me some of it. You know, so, no, okay. Final tips: proofread. Read it 10 times, 100 times. Proofread, proofread, proofread. The biggest mistake you can make is to send something with spelling mistakes. It's 2015. Microsoft Word has spell check. Please use American spelling, not British spelling. Color OR, not OUR. Great. Have a native speaker proofread. There are plenty of native speakers of English that you can find. Find someone that's smart enough to read it. Okay, don't just hand it to any random native speaker and say, read this. Find someone to read it. If you know someone in the United States or someone even from England, that'll be okay for the United States, but England's okay. We speak better English, okay? Have them proofread it. And if they tell you they don't understand parts of it, they're not doing it to be mean, they're trying to help you. Take it as constructive criticism, okay? Proofread again, proofread again. Read it so many times that you can sleep and recite it. Naizust, okay? Y'all know how to do the poetry that way, do it for your statement of purpose. Because if you go to an interview, if they interview you over Skype or over the phone, they're gonna pull out your statement of purpose. And if you don't remember what you said, and you can't talk about it passionately, not gonna go well, okay? You can always send me your statement of purpose, I'll read it, I don't mind. Plus, I know a lot of mistakes that Russians make in English, so I can also help there and go, we don't do it this way. And my wife is a Russian, and she went to school in the United States, and so she can give me tips, maybe I don't know, because I've never had to go through that process. Any questions about what I went over? I know I covered a lot of information. Yes?
What do you mean by passionate introduction?
Something that grasps the reader.
Like what?
Like, what do you want to go to school for?
I-
Yeah, you, either one of you.
I want to enter Northwestern University.
You went to Northwestern?
Yes.
Молодец.
Hello.
Charlton Heston went there, you know.
What?
Charlton Heston, the actor? He's a great actor. One of our best actors. What do you study?
I study engineering, welding engineering.
Okay. I don't know how you can be passionate about that, but what about you? What are you studying?
I'm studying economics.
Okay, good. So engineering is, so my, all my friends are engineers, so they're really literal. Like I told one of them to give me iced tea and lemonade together, right? It's called Arnold Palmer. You can't tell an engineer that. He handed me a cup of lemonade and a cup of iced tea. So they're really literal people. Economics. So what about economics do you like?
I study economics because it helps people to live better way. So in our country, we need this, I think, after, as you said, 18th, 19th, and now we have some problems, and I think I can solve them.
If he can find somewhere where something was written either by a great writer, Russian, English, it doesn't matter who they were. It could be Gandhi, it could be Confucius. Something said about making your country a better place, or putting that in the beginning and saying, this quote is the reason why I study economics. I want, life in my country has done this. This is what I lived through. This is what I want to do. Something that passionate, right away, we can tell this person is passionate about their education.
So it's not catching introduction.
Catching it has to be passionately catching. If you ever read, the Russian books, they always have, a lot of them have poetry at the very top of every chapter. That's captivating. Something like that. I'm not telling you to go recite Yavaskubin, because on the top of it, trust me, please don't. Every student I've had loves that poem for some reason. Not something like that, unless that relates to, maybe you want to study the psychology of love, and so you said, Pushkin wrote this, and blah, blah, blah. That could be passionate and catching. We want to be caught by it, but we want it to be passionate. So you have to do two things. That's a good point. We want it to catch our attention, but our attention is caught if you're passionate about it. And saying really a lot is not passionate. Yeah.
You said it could be a prompt. In a prompt, how question? Very, very brief and concise answers should be provided.
You're asking what type of prompt they would give you?
Yeah, probably students need to know, because I know that they don't.
Okay, so a prompt they'll give you usually will be like the one I showed you, where it says, this is probably the prompt you'll get, most likely. Most people don't, it's like reinventing the wheel. Don't reinvent the wheel, it's already been invented. Please describe your aptitude and motivation for graduate study in your area of specialization, including your preparation for field of study, your academic plans of research interest in your chosen field of study, and your future career goals. Please be specific about why UC Berkeley would be a good intellectual fit for you. Best way to do this, take each one of these points and make an outline for yourself, and then write an answer. After you make that outline, put it together in a nice prose. Make sure you stay within your word limit.
And also, they usually require to be in a limit of a certain number of words.
Yeah, at most 2,500 words. 2,500 words is about, how many pages is that? 5? About 5 pages.
Yeah.
About 5 pages. Double spaced, Times New Roman, 12-point font. Do not use contractions. Don't. Never use contractions in formal writing. What other things? What other things do I tell you not to do in my papers?
Informal? Don't use.
Don't use informal. Don't. What else do I tell you in my papers not to write?
I mean, I just remember the don't like contractions.
I don't like. We don't like contractions. It's one of my biggest pet peeves is contractions.
Just make sure it's not you're not informal.
Yeah. You have to write it like you're writing to the president of the country, whatever country that is, Russia, United States, whatever. It has to be very formal. Okay, dear,
One would think instead of I would think.
Yeah, one would think instead of I would think. Just be very formal. You guys are good at that. Russian has a formal and informal. We don't. Our kids speak like they text, so it's none of that. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah.
You should indicate the name, for example, like Ivan Petrov. State with the purpose.
You can at the top. You could put your name, and then put it in the middle. Statement of purpose, and then put your name. First name, last name. First name, patronymic, and last name. Do not send your picture. For some reason in Russia, a lot of when you get resumes, I used to work at this company, and I would get pictures of people. We don't do that in America. Don't send your picture. Okay, please don't. Because right away we're like, why would you send your picture? Don't send your picture. Just tell you now. Unless they specifically ask for it, and we don't, that's kind of against the law in the United States, I think. Because then if we choose you based on your color, your ethnicity, your race, your gender, then we can get sued. So we don't want to know what you look like. We don't want to know if you have a family, unless it pertains to your degree. Don't tell us any of that. I mean, like if you have kids or something. We care, but we There's another time and place for that. Any other questions? Yeah.
If I understood you correctly, the next step after statement of purpose is Skype interview. Do you have any tips for such stage of our admission process?
So not every university will do an interview process. That's okay. Not every university will do an interview process, but if they do, be yourself. Know your answers to what you wrote. If you don't understand something, ask them to repeat the question a different way. If you have to take time to think and say, well, let me think about that for a second, that's okay. Do not, you know the term bullshit? Don't bullshit us, okay? I don't know how to even translate that in Russian, like multi, I guess. Like don't just, I don't even know what the word would be in Russian for that. Can you help me out? What would that be? What would the equivalent of that be, like bullshitting somebody? Yeah, yeah, don't do any of that, okay? Just be honest. And if you don't know something, say, I don't know that, but I'd like to know that. Because we can tell if you're lying. we work with students every day. We know all the tricks. Like we do this all the time. So be yourself, dress nicely, shirt and tie for the gentlemen, dress for the ladies, be very conservative if you're a lady. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. Cynthia. Be conservative. Yes. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think of some other interview things. Quiet. Be quiet. Do not do it in like Shakaladitsa because they have free, or McDonald's because they have free Wi-Fi. Be in a quiet area where there's nobody else around, or where your Wi-Fi works for longer than 15 minutes and then they kick you off. You have to re-sign on. Okay. I mean, I'm sure they have places here you could do it. I'm sure they'd help you out here. So yeah, make sure it's a quiet area. If you have dogs, kids, loud brothers and sisters, roommates, make sure they're out of the room, not there. Things like that. Make sure you're early for your interview. Because we may be late, but that's okay. You can't be late. So make sure you're like an hour early, sitting there waiting. You have everything prepared. You drink your water, you know, things like that. It's a good question.
Don't chew gum.
Don't chew gum. People chew gum in class. I don't know if they do that in Russia. They do in America. Don't chew gum. Don't, you know, if you have to have water there, that's fine. Say, excuse me, I need to take a drink of water. That's fine. Perfectly fine. Just don't chew gum. That's disrespectful.
And if you have a heart attack during this interview,
live through it. Live through it. Don't be nervous. We've all of us that are doing this have gone through this process. You know, the people that do the interviews do it because we want to. We're not made to do it. So we're pretty nice about it. So don't, like, just calm down. Calm down. Ask questions. We love to be asked questions. If they say, do you have any questions for me? Have 3 questions for them. We love things in 3s. So y'all, right? So ask questions, because when we say, do you have any questions for me? No, I'm good. It kind of feels like you're not interested in what we have to say. So ask questions like, well, what do you think a perfect candidate for your program would be like? That's a great question to ask. Because then they can talk about you and why you'd be a good candidate for their program. And they remember that. Don't be afraid to ask about funding. What type of funding resources do you have or are available for international students? Don't be afraid to ask about the city. Do you like living in Mobile, Alabama? Do you like living in Jackson, Mississippi? Most of the time, we're very honest people. We're like, no, it's 100 degrees every day, but we have air conditioner and the beach is 30 minutes away. So yeah, so ask questions. That's a good one. Any other questions? Speaking of asking questions, yeah.
Could you advise any links with the examples of the good samples of this?
Yeah, I have this, when I send this PowerPoint to Elena, there's links on there. And if you just go to Google and type in statement of purpose university statement of purpose, you can find some for almost any major. They have them specific for majors, but make sure you look at the university site. Don't look at private sites. Look at university public, if it has EDU on the end of it, because those are the only ones that you want to look at. Because some people have their own opinion about stuff, or then it may be somebody that wants you to pay them something. So you go to their site and they're like, oh, well, if you pay me $100, I'll write it for you. Do not have someone write it for you. That will automatically get you kicked out of grad school. So don't, it's like lying on your visa application. Don't lie. You won't get it. Good question. Yeah. Any other questions? Questions? Okay, I'm going to speak a few minutes about my university just because I have a nice little video that we have on YouTube about the University of South Alabama. If maybe. Okay. Oh. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, and welcome to the University of South Alabama. My name's David, and I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and today I'll be taking you guys around our campus here at South. Let's go check out our campus. USA is located in Mobile, Alabama, a historic metropolitan area near the Gulf of Mexico. Mobile offers long summers that give you more than enough time to spend on the white sandy beaches. Mobile is also the original site of Mardi Gras, a popular event for locals and people from all over each year. At USA, we offer bachelor's, master's, PhD, and MD programs in many areas and offer over 100 majors. Our academic colleges and schools include the Pat Capps Coffee College of Allied Health Professions, the College of Arts and Sciences, Mitchell College of Business, College of Education, College of Engineering, College of Medicine, College of Nursing, School of Computing, School of Continuing Education Special Programs, and AU Pharmacy, offered right here on our campus at South Alabama. The University of South Alabama owns and operates 2 hospitals, our USA Medical Center and our USA Children and Women's Hospital, and also conducts cancer research and treatment at our USA Mitchell Cancer Institute. The South Alabama campus covers approximately 1,200 acres and features a beautiful mix of nature and metro life. The University of South Alabama has an enrollment of over 16,000 students from all 50 states and over 100 countries. 60% are women and 40% are men. The campus may seem big, but our class sizes are small, with a student-to-faculty ratio of only 19:1. An average class size of 23, students have an opportunity to receive personalized attention in the classroom. We want to ensure the best for our students, so the university employs highly qualified faculty. Over 80% have a doctorate degree. Now is a better time than ever to come to South. We have new state-of-the-art recreational and academic buildings and an enhanced campus atmosphere that will make the best college experience for you. Planning to live on campus? Students have their pick of 41 resident hall buildings, ranging from apartments style to suite style and traditional accommodations. Recreation and dining facilities are within walking distance from the resident halls. Each day, our students eat the freshest food prepared right in front of them at our all-you-can-eat dining hall on campus. Students can indulge in meals from 10 different food stations that offer everything from pizza to sandwiches to specialty bars such as tilapia and stir-fry from our Mongolian grill. There are even vegetarian and gluten-free options. Don't forget to pick something up from our dessert bar too. For students who purchase a meal plan, bonus bucks are included and can be used at other on-campus dining locations like Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut, Quiznos, and coffee shops like Starbucks in our library. Studies show that students who get involved on campus do better academically. The University of South Alabama offers over 200 clubs and organizations, including intramural sports, Greek life, religious organizations, and a student-run newspaper. student-run television and radio stations as well.
Hey guys, my name is Timothy James and I'm from Mobile, Alabama, majoring in broadcast journalism. At USA, there are over 200 clubs and activities to participate in. And here at our rec center, we also have other exciting activities to get involved with. You can take classes like Zumba, boot camp, yoga, and spinning. And we have a 40-foot rock climbing wall. Also, we have many of our intramural sports played right here at the rec center, including basketball and volleyball on one of our 3 multi-purpose courts, soccer on our soccer field, and inter-tube water polo right here at the swimming pool.
Come join the excitement here at the University of South Alabama. Why is USA the right choice for you? The exceptional value. Here, you will get quality education at one of the lowest tuition rates in Alabama. A 19-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio and small class sizes, giving you personalized attention in the classroom. USA students always perform exceptionally well on national licensure exams. We have highly competitive academic programs, offering students a world-class opportunity in a cutting-edge environment. Graduates are accepted into the best medical schools, law schools, and graduate programs in the country. The state-of-the-art facilities, including $250 million worth of new buildings and renovations on campus. An active campus life offering over 200 clubs and organizations. A traditional college experience, allowing you to challenge yourself in the classroom while cheering on your NCAA Division I Jaguars. At USA, we offer more than just a 4-year education. We prepare students for the job market by providing undergraduate opportunities to intern, research, or train in their field of study. Whether they stay here in Mobile or venture out of the region or nation, our graduates are well equipped with knowledge, experience, and confidence to apply for professional positions in the industry. Be a part of the University of South Alabama and let your future begin here.
So that's just some information about our university, where we come from. Again, it's located about 30-45 minutes from the beach. Gulf of Mexico. Cuba is about 90 miles away. Soon we'll have flights between Mobile and Cuba. Y'all don't have to need a visa to go there, so you can go there for vacation on the weekends. Our major fields of study are, of course, no, not University of Chicago. It's a great school, but we're not promoting that. It's a good school though. It's cold up there. Wind blows. We started Mardi Gras, Carnival. So it's like Maslenitsa, but better because it's not cold usually when it happens. And it's way better than New Orleans because it's clean. Anyways, our major fields of study, we have a brand new College of Engineering building that is gorgeous, and we like to show it off. Of course, we have our foreign language department, which my students are from. They also do anthropology, geography, international studies, and computer sciences. We have a marine biology where we actually have a sea lab, like on the Gulf. It's on the ocean. You can actually go work at the sea lab and like tag fish and go tag sharks and all these cool different things. And you can take classes there during the summer, even if you're not a marine biology major. It's kind of fun. Again, this is only 30-45 minutes from the university. So that's about our university. We'll be here for a little bit afterwards if you'd like to ask us questions about anything pertaining to what I talked about with statement of purpose or anything about our university. I have some information about our university here, some of our different colleges that we have and different majors that we offer. Thank you for your attention. I also have some of my business cards. If you need anything, you can write me. I'm in Moscow until August 7th. So I'll be here all summer, except for 1 week I'll be in St. Petersburg, enjoying that beautiful city. So anyways, thank you for your attention. If there's no questions, then I guess that's it. Yes.
I heard something about religious organizations. What was it about?
Like clubs. Like we have, we're from the South. The South is really religious. There's a church like every 5 minutes or less, maybe every minute. And so our university has religious clubs, like people who are Catholic or an organization together. people who are Baptist have a Baptist organization. And it's associated with the school, but our university is not religious. So like they hold like worship services when you're away from your home. Because in America, most people, when they go